So, you've watched my other tutorials on how to make a Red Hood armor. You've made the armor, but now what? You've got just the chest piece, nothing else. Well, Red Hood also has to have shin guards, because he's got to protect his shins, and here's how to make them. Okay, so here we've got a mannequin leg. I've hit with a spray adhesive and a Walmart sack. I put masking tape on it to make my templates for the shin guards. Some people use duct tape, and that's fine. I prefer masking tape just because it's easier to draw on. It's all personal preference. And since I'm making this out of foam, only have to do half of it. And you don't have to cover the entire leg with duct tape. Just cover what you need to cover. Saves you on tape. And just makes things go by a little bit faster. Here we have the leg covered in masking tape. All I'm going to cover, just half of it. And you can draw whatever design of shin guard you would like on here. I'm going to go with the excuse me, the version from Arkham Knight, the Red Hood shin guard. It's very simple. Here's my reference photo. And if you don't have a mannequin leg, you can use your own leg. It might be harder to get the details you want, but you can always just get the basic shape of it, take it off, and then draw out your design, and then just transfer it to poster board. The reason why I like to use masking tape is so I can draw it with pencil. It shows up a lot better than on duct tape. I can also erase it if I need to. Alright, here we have shin guard all drawn out. Very simple design. And from this point you can either cut it off with an X-Acto knife, or you can peel the plastic off and then cut it out with scissors. It's your decision, although I suggest if you've done this on your own leg, I suggest not cutting it off with an X-Acto knife. And if you do happen to do this on your own leg because you don't have a mannequin leg, I would suggest using saran wrap to wrap it on your leg so it holds together. You don't want to, you spray adhesive on your clothes and get it all nasty. And there's your pattern on tape. Now I gotta just cut this out. Alright, now that's all cut out. Got my poster board, Sharpie. Just gonna trace this out onto the poster board. And as you can tell, it's lifting up a little bit right there. It's because of the curvature of the leg. Get it as flat as you can. In some instances, you can put a dart. So on this part here, it's lifting up, just a cut, and it'll make a V in the pattern. And then when you go to transfer it to foam, you'll glue that V together and it'll give it that curvature. I prefer not to do that on a piece like this. So I honestly just don't think it's necessary, because you can heat form it and get that almost exact same curvature. But as you can tell, I got my hash marks along the edge here. And as I draw this out, I'm going to just come up to the side with my hash marks. Now in this stage of the pattern making, you can make the small changes from your tape pattern to your poster board. You can smoothen out edges, but things like that need to be adjusted. Like with the top of the knee, it's a little more curved right there. I wanted to have a little bit more of a square shape, so I just extended that out. And as you can tell in the pattern, I've got patterns within the pattern. And to get that, all I've done was, after I've traced out the outside, I just cut the tape pattern placed it back and traced the line that I cut. And like this piece right here, I just cut it, folded it back, drew that line. You got your poster board pattern. You just transfer your hash marks onto the actual pattern itself, or template. And that's pretty much all there is to making the templates. Yeah, just cut it out. As you cut it out, of course, you'll cut out the hash marks. On these pieces with the inner patterns, what I like to do is just get my X-Acto knife for my blade and just cut the line on the inside. But I leave the outside points still attached. Sometimes I'll even leave the corner point inside attached, so it just stays together a little bit better. Now that we've got the pattern on foam, it's time to cut it out. Everything on here will be a straight cut, except for one part, and I will explain that when I get to it. Okay, here's one half cut out. Again, all along the edges, a straight cut. Now, here's the part that is not a straight cut, and it's this little centerpiece right here. We're not going to cut it out completely. We're going to just go on the outside of the Sharpie line at an angle. Go all around that to the edge. And what that's going to do is we're going to glue it like this to give it that depth. We're going to do that in all the pieces. Now, as for this line right here, we're actually going to use a wood burner for that line to get that in there. If you don't have a wood burner, you could just use a regular X-Acto knife, cut about halfway through, and heat form it, and the line will form. That's one way to do it. I prefer to do it burner, so that way the line's a little bit wider. Now that all the pieces are cut out, I'm going to grab my heat gun, I'm going to heat seal them, form them up a little bit, apply some glue along each edge, contact cement, dab weldwood, and I'm going to line up hash marks and put it all together. Alright, and here we have one shin guard put together, and it is ready to be finished. We'll be covering the seam, painting it, and strapping it. Alright, now that we've got the lines burnt in, as you can see there, now we're going to cover up this seam. What I did to start this off is I got a Dremel, and I dremeled down the seam to where it was pretty smooth, even. Basically just take away the Sharpie lines and the hash marks. You're going to get your DAP quick seal. Just going to run some along the seam. You'll want to do this in sections at a time. Like that. And you just smooth it out to get it to cover up that seam and get down in all the openings. And this stuff is not sandable, so how you get the nice smooth finish, so you gotta have a cup of water close by, stick your finger in it, and feather out the edges. And you'll do that for this entire seam line. You'll also do it just very little on the inside of this section right here. Alright, as you can tell on this shin guard, I have the seam here in the center covered, as well as these lines burn in. I'm going to show you how to do that with this one. For the wood burner, I use the spatula tip. And all I do is just lightly go over the lines that I've made. Very slow and steady. You don't want to push too hard, otherwise you'll burn through your foam. Alright, now I've added the straps to this, or the strap. It's just a single buckle in the back around the calf. Just a quick release buckle. It's a like that. Adjustable strap. I leave this down by the ankle open. Allows for greater foot movement when you're walking around. You don't have to worry about the thing moving around too much. It just allows your foot better movement in the back. And now these things are ready to be plastided and painted. While I wait for the plastided to dry, I have built these shoe covers to go with the shin guards. These will be totally separate. I'm just going to have a piece of elastic loop from here to here, and they'll just slide over your foot, over your shoe. It'll be painted the same way as the shin guards. It's about 6.5 inches in length, and as far as the width, it's a little less than 2 inches, or right around 2 inches. And I've used 4mm craft foam for this whole thing, except for this one strip across the top, which is 2mm craft foam, just glued on top of it. Heat it to a curve, and I'm gonna go plastidip these now. We have the shin guards essentially done. They're all painted, seams covered, it's strapped, it's all good. We've got the boot cover, elastic all glued on. So I just use Gorilla super glue for all my strapping, elastic, everything I need. Super glued, and I have yet to have anything come off with that stuff. It's amazing. If you're wondering for the kind of paint that I use for this, it is Rust-Oleum Satin Nickel. And this is just a very light coat with black black plastidip base. So I still wanted it to have a bit of a darker undertone to it. And next, I'm going to be adding in a little bit of battle damage to it, which means basically just scuffing the paint just to reveal the metal underneath, which is just Rust-Oleum silver spray. Got my wash rag right here. What do? I just spray it a little bit on the wash rag. You look at my finger like that, spray it right there. And I'll just rough it around the edges, areas where it sticks out. And I'll do the same thing to the boot guards. Go ahead and weather up one of these boot guards right here since it's small. Basically all you're doing is you're just rubbing this silver spray along the edges where it might bump into things, get scratched up. You can see it doesn't take much. I've already done this one too. And to me it just adds that little bit of extra metal effect to it. I'm gonna go get these done and I'll be right back. That's pretty much all there is to it on weathering your foam pieces. That's it. Now you can make your own redhead shin guards. Alright, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope the video was a big help. I hope that you got something out of this. I hope that you learned how to do this, how to make templates for yourself and everything. If you guys want to follow progress on other things that I build or things I built in the past, I post everything on my Instagram at Bad Out of Hell Cosplay. I also post on my Facebook. I'll go ahead and drop the links down below in the description. You guys have a good one.